Hey, it's Aaron, and today I am with a 2023 Kia EV6 GT. The GT is brand new this year. It's kind of the performance model of, it is the performance model of the all-electric EV6. Previously, Kia had the GT line, which added a few of the things that you'll see here, but it did not change what was going on with the propulsion and other things. So, to really run it down, basically this ups horsepower to well over 500. It's beautiful and knocks range by about 50 miles. So you have a little over 200 miles of range per EPA. In the real world, I've been a little closer to about 195 up here in Wyoming's high altitude windy climate. So your range will vary, but still very, very well done vehicle. I reviewed this last year, so I'm going to skim a lot of stuff. But the best way to think of the GT model in my mind is to think of this as the shooting brake version of the already wagon-licious EV6. So yeah, actually, yeah. I'll show you the profile. We'll talk a little bit about design, but I'm not going to get very into it because I did it before. I'll show you a couple of details that I did not show you before, and I'll get more detailed about what that powertrain is doing.
This episode brought to you by coffee.
So as you can see, it is a wagon style rather than SUV style vehicle. Really right sized, very, very well sized, comfortable seating throughout, and plenty of room for everybody. And pretty good cargo space. Now, you get more cargo space with an SUV, but really, this is a station wagon. If you don't like station wagons, you probably need to look at a different vehicle. But I don't know why you would, because this thing is phenomenal. Of all the electrics I've driven, this is by far my favorite. Not because it's super sporty, super fast, or super awesome in some way. It's because it is a real world electric vehicle. This is a very useful vehicle. I would put it on par or better than Volkswagen ID4, the Mustang Mach-E, and the only one I haven't driven is the very closely related Hyundai Ioniq. But I think just by styling, I would go with this one. This red is beauty too. Really, really nice color. And then you can see there's a very sharp line right here. It runs across the doors instead of running with a lot of flowy. But there's no lines up here at all. It's just rounded. That's really good looking. I really like that. Something on the car here. Mothwing. All right. So details. Promise those. The biggest detail is that it is all-wheel drive by default, and those two motors that are running the axles, they combine to create 576 horsepower. That makes this the most powerful Kia ever made, and it shows. So when you drive this normally, you just drive around, it's pretty much like the standard EV6, a little more oomph, but not by a lot. You won't feel it anyway, not until you really shove that pedal down. Once you push down that right pedal, it really gets going. But even better, the green button on the steering wheel. You push that and it launches. Whether you're already going or you're at a full stop, it will launch. And then you could do a 0 to 60 in this in under 4 seconds. About 3.6 is their rating. My best, because I'm doing it flat-footed on a public road, right around 4 seconds. So beautiful. And then little details. You see the green brakes. The brakes are beefier on this model. They kind of need to be. But nothing else changes. Still the same, I think it's 77.4 kilowatt hour battery. So all of that is still pretty much the same. That's why the range reduction. The normal range for the all-wheel drive model of the Kia EV6 is about 256 miles. And then there is a 300-mile one, which is front wheel only. I believe it's front wheel. Could be rear wheel, but I'm pretty sure it's front wheel. And then, yeah, so they're working with the same battery and just changing performance on each of those models. Really well done though. I really like this. I think that the range is not really a limitation, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I'm not going to make this a public debate. If you don't think that's enough range, don't buy it. That's all I'm going to say. So let me show you a couple details. I'm going to show you the working and the cargo area because I believe I did the last time, but there's a couple things I want to point out. And then I'm going to open up the hood because I definitely didn't do that on the last one. Okay, back in the back. First thing you got to know, because it took me a while to find it, you got to roll around under here with your finger and you'll feel a big pad right here. And then you can push it and open it. It took me couple 3 tries to make that happen. Cargo space. There's a tire mobility kit. There is no spare tire. The under storage down here is very small. You don't really have much in here. You could get your electrical cord in here. These do not come with a charging cord by default. You have to ask for it, so it has to be added usually at the dealership. But cargo space is very good. I really like it. I like that it's I messed this up. I like that it's real world usable. Again, think of this as a station wagon. Don't think of it as a SUV, okay? You can't compare this to your SUV. So think of it as a station wagon. That's the cargo space. Now, you can fold down those. They're a 60-40 split. You can fold down those by pulling over here. There's tie downs in the corners on the walls and a couple of little like extra things. There's a 12-volt access there if you need to jump somebody, and I think that's it. So that's the cargo space. I know I'm not in the frame, now I am. That's the cargo space. Let's go look up front. I got something to show you, super secret. And then I'll talk about the interior really quick. Okay, looking underneath the hood at what we would call the engine compartment, you can see there's a bunch of stuff. There's a couple of filler points for, this is washer fluid, this is coolant, and that is your brake fluid over there. You do not have a 12-volt battery right here, like immediately visible. I'll show you that in a sec. This opens, you pull that, opens up. This is cord storage, perfect place to put your power cord. So you can drop it right here, close this on it. The big part would go down here. The rest would kind of curl up right here and close. Perfect place for a power cord. So even if you have one of those portable ones that has a box on it about like this, it will fit here. I've put mine in this. So that's pretty cool. Now, if you need to use the battery, that's over here. This pops off. I'm not going to do it to do it. You can see the edge of the battery there. That gets you to the terminals. And then for mechanics working on it, the control box is actually under here. So you can pull this out and there's the control box. You don't have to remove this unless you really need to dig in there. So that I did not show the last time. Pretty cool. Okay, inside the vehicle. I just pointed out the Go Fast button is right here. You just push it and you suddenly get a huge boost of power. I don't remember what it is, but it's got to be 100 horsepower. It is a lot. I know it's going to be measured in torque, but I don't remember what the number is. I just know it's a lot. Drive mode button is the other one that's on here. The interior is very nice. There's 2 things missing that I would like to see. I would love cooled seats as well as heated seats. I would use the AC less if the seats were cooled. Also, but it does have heated front seating and a heated steering wheel. So in the wintertime, you use a little bit less. If you have it plugged in, you turn all that on before you get going and warm the car up. The beauty of an electric car is it takes no time to warm up. You can defrost the windows about twice as fast as you would in your regular car because you don't have to wait for the engine to come up to heat. So beauty there. You can open up the charge port here, or if you're in the back and you have the key fob with you, you can tap it and it will open. I'm going to show you that charge port because I believe I skipped it last time as well. It just occurred to me. Other than that, your parking brake is over here. It's automatic. You can change it in the settings, but it is by default automatic so that when you park, the brake sets. Might as well leave that. It's perfectly fine. When you shift into gear, the brake will let itself loose and you can go. I really like the controls. I love this seating. This GT seating is specific to this model, and the GT line, it's an option. And it's really bolstered well, fits really, really well, and holds you in place nicely while you're doing your, pushing the green button and going fast. Headroom is good. I've got 1.5 inches or so. I'm 6'3", so pretty good there. I really like the it's two screens, but it looks like one big screen. I really like the setup up here. Also, when you plug in to start charging, this will announce, this will bring up the screen to show you the charge state, and will announce via the speakers that are up there to act as a horn and a slow speed blind people warning that that it is charging. So it will let you know that it is charging, or it will say that there was a fault or whatever. It will tell you if it's not charging. So you don't have any guesswork. You don't have to like plug it in and then get in the vehicle and look or do any of that kind of stuff. You plug it in, it tells you. So let's go look at that charge port and then kind of wrap this up, because really you just need to go drive one of these. That's all I can tell you. Okay, the charge port is located on the right side of the car, so the passenger side. To open it, if the car is unlocked or you have the key fob, you can just shove it and it opens like that. To close it, same thing, just shove it and it will close. When it's open, you can see it has the standard charge, so your standard SAE charger, and then it has the controls, the control plugs for fast charging. So it is all on the SAE standard. Over here you have a couple buttons. This one opens and closes this. This one holds the charge. That's what I was trying to think of. It says it right on it, and I'm like still trying to think what it is. So this will hold the charge. You can plug in, push that, and it will hold the charge for whatever you've got it programmed in there. So if you don't want to immediately charge, but you have it set to when you plug in, it should immediately charge, you can push that and change that and go with your hold setup. So pretty cool there. And there's the close. Okay, there you go. This is the 2023 Kia EV6 GT. Brand new this year, really good car. Again, think of it as a shooting brake. It is a station wagon that goes really fast. Shooting brake. Okay, all-wheel drive by default, wonderful setup, really nicely done and well balanced in every way. So one of the more usable of the electric cars on the road right now, and one of the, in my opinion, better options. So there you go. That's what I got. This has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.
Subscribe.